Hi everyone, it's Jez from the Chinese Takeaway.
And Neil, how you doing?
And today we're going to be talking about two big releases that came out into the mobile phone market. The king of value, which was the OnePlus Nord, and the so-called king of performance, which is the ASUS ROG Phone 3. So Neil, what's up with the king of value?
So the OnePlus Nord is a rather big release. It's one where OnePlus, the phone company, has gone back to its roots. It's really decided that they were built up and known for their value segment and flagship killer status. And this phone doesn't disappoint. For the price point at under £400, it's delivering a rock solid value proposition with basically coming in second best for every single spec you can think of, whether it is processor speed, the screen, the battery, whatever it may be. And you're thinking maybe second best, is that really flagship killer? But in all honesty, you only need to be second best to still be within 10% of the top value or the top performance of each of those segments. But at the end of the day, you're paying half of that price to get there. So it really is great to see. I love it when these big phone companies are going into the value segment, whether it's Apple now that are going in there, Google as well with their Pixel 3. They're all coming into this segment where they're appealing to the masses.
So Neil, on the market at the moment, is the OnePlus Nord competing in value with the previous generation of premium phones?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, where OnePlus are marketing themselves is that they are a flagship killer. And this is coming in, it's brand new. You can't even order it right now in the UK. You have to wait till, there's a bit of a waiting list till next month until it can actually arrive on your doorstep. But one thing that's always really challenging with these new phones is that you have older flagship phones coming down in price. And so you have to compete with that and a new offering. And OnePlus on this instance, though, is able to deliver. They have some very new specs, like the new Snapdragon 700 series going into the phone, 90 hertz display, whereby it does go into that premium segment of the market.
So one of the things that I've noticed with the OnePlus Nord is that it's already in a market where it has OnePlus already has a phone, OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8 Pro. Will this Nord cannibalize some of that market share for OnePlus 8 Pro and OnePlus 8?
Yeah, absolutely. I think every time you see a OnePlus 8 come out, it cannibalizes the sales of the OnePlus 7 that came out before it. And that's fine. That's technology. I think that's to be expected. This particular product segment that they're going for is a strategy. They want to go back from being an £800 to £1,000 costing phone down to a $400 and below costing phone. So at launch, most importantly, these phones are appealing to two different masses. And it's important that most people like to buy new phones. They don't always look in the past. And when I look at the spec sheet of the OnePlus Nord, of course there's gaps. Of course there's phones that can do better. So you take the OnePlus Nord. It has a great screen, a great processor. You won't miss a heartbeat in terms of its performance. And if you're someone who updates your phone every 4 to 5 years, you don't care about the latest flagship. If you buy this phone, will you be happy? Absolutely yes. But then if you drill down into the details of, okay, well, where is it lacking? Is there a phone that's better for it? So let's take examples. Is it water resistant and IPA resistant? No. So if you're someone who drops your phone regularly and might end up with inside a pool because your friends throw you in or whatever, then this isn't the phone for you. You can look at other alternatives.
Is that speaking from experience?
I don't know if people have to throw me into a pool sometimes, but yes, exactly. Other things are habitual. Do you like to wirelessly charge your phone every night? Or have you even thought of that as a function for your phone? The OnePlus will not do that function where flagships will from 5 years ago. So again, something you have to compromise on. Is it an all-metal unibody? Do you care about every touch and tactile feel of the phone? If you do, then this won't be the right phone for you. Again, it has a mono speaker. Do you listen to all your content through the speakers or through good quality headphones and Bluetooth speakers? Maybe you have to compromise that and you don't like it. And I think really I think all those things become very much small nuances, but really something that appeals to everybody is the camera. They have forced 4 cameras onto the phone, where you have a very good main camera, albeit maybe not really flagship quality as they have claimed. You have a wide angle, which is again good, maybe not the top, but it's still good. And then the other 2 is a depth sensor and a macro, which by all reviews show that it's worse than if you just took the regular camera and zoomed in. So there's a bit of marketing hype around, hey, I've got 4 cameras, so it's great. And it looks the part of being a flagship, but it's not. And I like it with the Pixel 3a, for example. They just gave you one awesome camera and they're unapologetic about it, not trying to build up to hype. And maybe OnePlus in some ways are coming back to this value segment and trying to figure out where it works for them. So I would say for the camera, I think it really did. That's the only place where I say they really fell down and they didn't focus properly on their offering. And hey, there's going to be a second one, hopefully, which will make it even better.
Yeah, but I do have to interject that I heard that the selfie camera has got 2. One's a wide angle lens, and I heard that one's actually really good.
Yeah, exactly. And so again, you look at the front-facing cameras, the selfie camera, they've got an ultra wide and a regular. So that's good for some people. They miss that ultra wide. I mean, realistically, a lot of people are doing video conferences these days, and the main camera can be too close up. They may be doing it home because they're working from home. So that ultra wide camera will come in really useful. So I think they've done really well in terms of offering those 2 cameras on the front. My main gripe is with the back. But I'd also say on the front-facing cameras, I again don't like having my phone screen real estate on the front covered up by 2 cameras. I find it really, really annoying. Can you please give me just one really, really good ultra-wide camera that you have the option to zoom in, which would offer the same comparable quality as the other main dedicated camera? I don't see why you really need to have 2. No one's taking purely photographic shots with that. It's more for video conferencing. So you just want to be able to switch between those 2 zoom modes. And then when you look at your phone 90% of the time, you don't want to see those 2 cameras. You just want to see one at most. So that again comes down to personal preference for me. But I think if you're going back to the weaker points on the camera, if you want IPA resistance, i.e. you can drop it in water, if you're looking for wireless charging, and if you're looking for a better camera, you can look at other secondhand, not even secondhand, you can just look for older generation flagships that will offer all of those in a similar price point. The favorites that I'd point to are the Huawei P30 Pro. In Hong Kong, you can pick that up for under £400. And that would again give you some of the best camera systems that are still available today. 50 times zoom on the digital, and then 5 times optical, regular and ultra wide. And then it's water resistant. So again, I would pick that phone over the OnePlus Nord at the same price point. The S10, you've got that Samsung brand that's well known. And in the UK, you can pick up a refurbished model anyway for a very, very similar price. And again, it comes down to people who are looking at specs versus something new and different. And so with Android, you get something. I always feel that the specs are the most important thing about the Android ecosystem, where Apple is about being Apple and new, because you're chasing that marketing new hype, where Android people, I believe, are a bit more practical, just about what you're getting at the end of the day.
All right, bit of Apple smashing. I get it.
So I think on that front, you're looking at the S10 as a really solid all-round phone. Maybe only the battery can't compare to the Nord, where the Nord has a fantastic 4,000 plus milliamp battery. But overall, it's you have so many options on that market. So it almost does come down to figuring out what your nuance is, what really matters to you, to see which phone you want to get. But as an overall package, really glad OnePlus has come out with this phone. It's another value segment phone to come out with. It is brand new. It does offer new features, and for the layman, you're not going to go wrong. You buy this phone, you give it to your mum and dad, and they'll absolutely love about it and rave about it. And then, wireless charging is the last thing on the list that they care about. So it's a great time to be buying a value-orientated phone, but it's also a great time to be buying a performance phone. So Jez, talk me through the new side of the new ROG phone.
Well, the manufacturer ASUS, they've been known to be manufacturing not just premium products, but they also do gamer products. So this is the ASUS ROG phone, and this is the third variant. So at the moment, they've always marketed themselves as the no compromise performance phone. It will have the best processor, the best storage, the best RAM, the best screen on the market, and they did not disappoint. They have the fastest screen, which is a 144 hertz screen. It has great brightness on that as well. If I'm not correct, it has about 650 nits, which is very, very bright.
Blind you.
Blinding basically. It also has the biggest storage capacity, well, not storage capacity, but also biggest RAM as well. 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is more than most laptops. It also has the fastest processor in the market, which is the 865 Snapdragon 865 Plus. So it crushes the competition.
What's that plus mean?
The plus basically means it's overclocked. It also has apparently the best speakers. It has two front-facing speakers, which knocks it out the park. As well as, I think probably the most impressive thing is a massive 6,000 milliamp battery, right, which basically will make you use that phone for days.
So 6,000 milliamps. I mean, what's the average for a phone?
Average for a decent phone is around 4,000 milliamp batteries, like the OnePlus Nord that we were talking about.
So new phones are 4,000. So this is 50% more than that. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. Yeah,
that's very impressive. However, you have to take into consideration that since it has a 144 hertz screen, it'll also suck up battery more faster. So right, you have to kind of balance that a bit. I mean, you can change the refresh rate, so you could turn to 144 when you're gaming, and then turn it back to 90 or 60 when you're using it for normal use.
Right. So if you're in the market right now, is this the phone to get?
It's really hard to recommend to the general masses this phone. I mean, for me, yeah, I'd totally get it, but I'm a little bit on the different segment. For a practical aspect, there are some features that I think would be wasted on the general public. So, for instance, the one feature that I think is a bit wasted is the air triggers. I think it's a bit of a gimmick.
Could you use those for other things though, like launch Firefox or something like that, or Chrome?
Technically, yeah, but then you're looking at the kind of not the consumer, but the prosumer.
Which is our readers? They're all prosumers.
Which is, yeah, well, who knows? But there are some features that, again, that I've said before about gaming phones is that they compromise on. They say it's no compromise, but it's only for certain things. So some of the things that they compromise normally on is the camera, and again, the camera is fine, and that's all I can say. It's not good, it's not great, it's fine, it's okay.
So I mean, it's got the fastest processor, the biggest battery, the brightest screen, the highest refresh rate. I mean, it basically has so many bragging rights. Yet at the same time, the camera sounds average in what you're telling me. So, do you think this is a missed opportunity? Do you think, ASUS ROG could have said, you to everyone, I'm going to make the best of the best of the best of the best. And they could have just put in some decent cameras in there.
They could have. However, you have to look at the price point. So, at the moment, there are the £800 variant, the £900 variant and the £1,000 variant of the phone. And once you start doing camera, you're going to start adding the cost up to the point where it becomes the most expensive phone on the market. You're probably going to start thinking about £1,200 to £1,300 for a phone, which even the people that are like targeting that market will not actually fork out that money for.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. Please like and subscribe, and catch us weekly, and I'll see you next week.
Bye bye. Oh,
bye
shit.
Bye. I don't know if see you next week is the right one.
Yeah.